Bill 24, the Forest and Prairie Protection Amendment Act, will improve our existing laws by strengthening deterrence through tougher fines, improving our ability to reduce risks when fire conditions are hazardous, and clarifying operational processes, roles, and responsibilities. Our government is committed to the protection of Albertans and their communities from the threat of wildfire. This legislation will be an important tool in our efforts to do that. We know that far too many wildfires are triggered by human activity. In fact, about 70% of wildfires in the last 5 years have been linked to human causes. So we need to take proactive steps. Strengthening penalties is an important part of the equation. We want to discourage reckless and irresponsible behavior that puts Alberta's communities and forests at risk. Through this legislation, we will increase the maximum fines from $5,000 to $1 million for corporations who violate the Act and up to $100,000 for individuals. These fines are in line with penalties under comparable Alberta legislation, as well as wildfire legislation in British Columbia and Saskatchewan. The size of fines will depend on the nature of violation and will be determined by the courts. We're also introducing new penalties of up to $10,000 per offense for such industrial violations, such as the lack of a wildfire plan or the absence of firefighting equipment on a work site. This legislation also improves our ability to restrict specific recreational activities during times of hazardous fire conditions. We're also enhancing our ability to stop activities that interfere with firefighting. This includes restricting the use of drones, which make it unsafe for water bombers and helicopters to work on wildfires. The enhanced prevention measures also strengthen the obligations of industry to assist in preventing wildfire. This includes applying a consistent 12-month timeline to dispose of potentially hazardous forest debris, cutting the required timeline to complete the work in half. While we know that it is impossible to completely eliminate the risk of wildfire, the legislation tabled today is an important step to bolster our wildfire prevention and firefighting efforts.